Okay, give it to me.
The following contains offensive language and spoilers. Listener discretion is advised. Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs.
Ninja rap.
I want my REEESES Reese's.
That is, I don't know what that is.
Reese's Puffs, the cereal. You never had Reese's Puffs cereal?
No.
Oh man, it's great.
I never heard a rap about it either, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the commercial.
I'll YouTube it. Okay. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullets Nursery Book. Me host Leroy, aka the OGYN, with my co-hosts.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka Long Tall Sally.
There you go. All right. And we're back with the episode. And everybody sees the thumbnail. We're gonna jump into it. If you don't know what it is, we're gonna jump into it. We got a bunch of show, got a lot of show for you. So
yes.
Also our third co-host, the Doombot, the AI.
All hail the Doombots.
So Eli, IG, Instagram gave us an option to create an AI, so I may do that by the end of the week. We'll see.
Ooh, yes.
What
will she look like?
I don't know why you thinking I'm gonna do some weird science shit. Oh man. So all right. So let's go ahead and start the podcast before we jump into it. Eli, here's the thing. Now, one thing we don't do in this podcast, even though we're a comic podcast, we don't do versus battles. But for the sake of this podcast, I think we should do a versus battle. I'm gonna give you the scenario. Okay. And
we're gonna do bar for bar.
No. It's blowing up on Twitter right now. And I want to get your opinion on what you think this not really a death battle, but this versus battle should be. So it is, what if 100 men versus a gorilla.
100 men? Just like unarmed men?
Unarmed men versus silverback gorilla.
I think the men could probably gang up. I think maybe I know somebody's getting fucked up. A bunch of motherfuckers getting fucked up.
I think everybody's getting fucked up. I'm sorry, man. A silverback gorilla. I'm sorry. He's killing 100 people. Standing over their dead bodies, beating his chest.
I just like I know some people will get fucked up, but gorillas get tired too.
I mean, but what? It's adrenaline though.
I suppose.
I think it's adrenaline. I think they're gonna get tired afterwards. Then they'll, eat a banana or some shit like that. But no, I think at the beginning of it, everybody, because right now everybody is kind of divided on who's gonna win.
Yo,
we got here. Yo, Jimmy Dean.
Jimmy
Dean, JZT. Yes, sir.
What's going on?
All right.
Thanks for listening.
Jimmy, who you got? 100 men versus the gorillas. I'll play gorillas.
I think at least 50 of them.
Jimmy.
I think at least 50 of them 50 dudes are getting fucked up, but the other 50 could like pile up on them.
Oh, you think after 50 the gorilla's gonna wear himself out? Then but you got to sacrifice half of it to get to the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's a few everybody that's walking point, that in the front line they're getting.
I want everybody in the comments to let me know who you got. The 100 men or the gorilla? Let's see.
But what do I know? I'm not an animal expert, so I don't know.
But why did you strip the copper out of Miles? Is that a Lost reference? I don't know. Anyway, thanks for listening. All right, can we move to the next part of the podcast?
Sure.
Okay. Now, since we did something we normally don't do, the versus battle, let's do something we always do. We're bringing this back. We're trying to bring this back in style. We'll do the box office numbers.
All
right. So give it to me. What was the number one movie of the week?
Is it the Sinners win again?
Sinners won again. But here's the crazy thing.
Ooh, holy shit. Oh, yeah. Damn.
So, but here's the thing. And this is the thing, because a lot of naysayers last week was going, and I don't know why they didn't do it, but the thing is, so Sinners did, I think, 48 million last week. In the second week, it did 42. So if you do the math, I'm going to throw that bastard up one more time. That's a 6% drop off. Eli, that never happens.
Okay.
It basically almost doubled what it did from last week to this week. So Variety going to put out a bullshit article saying, even though it had a good weekend, they don't think it's going to make its money back. Sorry, made its money back. Just that quick. So.
And did you hear about the deal that Ryan Coogler cut with Warner Brothers?
Yeah, I heard about that deal. So in 25 years, he gets the rights back to Sinners. Not just Sinners. I think any movie he does with Warner Brothers going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which,
that's crazy deal. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like another theme of the movie about black artists
Ownership. Yeah.
owning their own art.
Hmm.
Controlling their art. Yeah, I think that's pretty dope.
And the thing is,
Good
I
for
think
him.
and the one they had to do is because it's a miserable situation because Warner Brothers fucked over Christopher Nolan and he left. So
Uh-huh.
their golden goose, they're like, we need something else. So basically, Ryan Coogler basically just like, look, you either give me this deal, I'm going somewhere else. So they had to just basically give him the candy store, give him whatever he wants. Just take whatever you want, So, but I love it. Basically, Sinners is a black-owned movie. I love it. Also love this, that it already has done over half of what Captain America 4 did. I'm loving that. Reason I'm loving it is because Sinners is doing the numbers that Marvel wanted Captain America 4 to do. That's why they released it on Black History Month. That's why they wanted us to do some kind of grassroots movement. No, we see through your bullshit, man. We see it. So
could have been cool, but
right. But no, you want to cut corners,
Yeah, it could have been cool. I was excited. I was finally excited for a Marvel movie.
White-owned business. That's just called business. So yeah, there's no such thing as a white entertainment TV. It's just TV. So yeah. So I guess
yeah. I went shopping. I bought gas yesterday.
Right. You don't call it the white-owned gas station. It's just the gas station. That's it. Oh, let's see. Black History Month used to be called. Oh, here we go. All right. Late at night. I forgot. Okay. All right. So, but let's go back to the box office, Eli. Let's go. But that's not the bit. That's not the end of it. All right. We talk about Sinners. Sinners did his thing. Okay. That's fine and dandy. But let's look at number 2 on the list.
I did see that.
You saw that? I know you see it, Eli. I know you see it. Yes, sir. Yes, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And look at that poster. That movie poster has no right to go as hard as it is going.
That's Anakin pretty cool.
Yeah, Anakin and Mount Mustafar, I guess. Planet Mustafar, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Look, and this is the reason why we don't talk about why we ban Star Wars on this podcast because of this movie, because this is the GOAT Star Wars movie. I will down the hill. I will fight anybody. Come at me, bro. Put up your dukes. But we're not gonna fight
you know what? I talk shit on the sequels, but I saw every sequel in the theater multiple times, including Revenge of the Sith multiple times.
Right. I don't say the sequels. I just say that one. That's the only one I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, Eli, I would have saw it in the theaters. 1, they didn't have it in IMAX. 2, I had a bunch of shit to do, so I couldn't do it. But
I forgot it was coming out. I thought it was coming. I knew it was coming back out in theaters, but I thought it was gonna be like
you thought May 4th or something like that.
Yeah. That's this weekend.
They try to put on the actual date.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, May the 4th would sound better. Sound like you don't. Oh, here we go. That guy again. Okay. Thanks for listening.
But yeah,
yes, we support white-owned movies like Star Wars.
Oh yeah, I saw how many times I see that in the theater. But I'll never forget opening week. Like I talk shit. Like I talk shit on the sequels. I have my gripes. I have my critiques. I find them frustrating. Blah blah blah. You've heard it all before from me. But I'll never forget opening weekend, Revenge of the Sith. I saw it like the Wednesday. This is back in 2005. We had to buy advance tickets and shit. And I saw it like the Wednesday night at midnight. And the theater was packed. Like I had a hard time finding a parking spot because the parking lot was so packed. And it was like everyone with lightsabers and all that shit.
Hey, was there a lightsaber fighting your
Yeah, people were cosplaying and all that shit. Okay. It was like Endgame. Like I hadn't seen like Revenge of the Sith and Endgame is the only time I've seen theaters that packed like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember when
they said, okay, here we go. You still let it. All right.
When Order 66 happened, the Order 66 scene, and which caught me off guard. I was like, holy shit, that's fucked up. Didn't see that coming. When Yoda, took out those clone troopers, I set that theater off. I was the first one to go, yeah, and start clapping, and then the whole theater erupted in applause. So as much as I talk shit on the prequels, that's how I was totally enthralled and I jumped up and fucking screamed during that part.
It was an event movie.
Yeah. So good times.
Shout out to Steve Beno. I think his name Bono. Beno. Right here.
What they bitching about? I can't even read his shit. I got to get my glasses.
But get your glasses while I do that. Okay, but
I don't want to read that shit.
But the point is, I am going to see it either Monday or Tuesday. I got to see it. If IMAX, I would have found a way to see it because I want to see Revenge of the Sith in IMAX. But since it's 99,
well, yeah, remember before Disney bought Star Wars, they were going to re-release all the movies in 3D.
Well,
and they did it with Phantom Menace.
They did with Phantom Menace. Now,
and I saw it in 3D.
They didn't even re-release Phantom Menace. No, not Phantom Menace. Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, they didn't even really. They just said fuck it. Just skip over that.
But I did read or I did see Phantom Menace in 3D, which was the pod race scene was dope in 3D.
which is does that make you feel old, Eli? That Revenge of the Sith is 20 years old?
Yeah.
You know what else is 20 years old this year?
Batman My kid.
Begins. Shout out to your kid, man. Happy birthday. But I was saying Batman Begins. Like that shit is 20 years old. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like the Dark Knight is holy shit.
Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight Rises is like over 10 years. Like Dark Knight Rises is like over 10 years.
Yo, people need reading glasses. We really do, Steve. Bono. Yeah, we need them.
Yeah.
Oh shit. But yeah, that's all I got. That's why I want to put number 2 on there, Eli, because yes, and it beat The Accountant 2. So here's my thing about this. People can complain about we ain't going to the movies we want to see, man. We're going to the movies. People are flocking to go see Sinners because it is already like the highest grossing original movie this decade. And people are flocking to see a 20-year-old Star Wars movie. You know,
and people
else is out right now.
And people flock to go see Minecraft, I hear.
And that too, yeah. So, but the point is, people are there. People are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You make something people want to see, they will see it. So stop making excuses for why people didn't see Black Bag or Mickey 17 or all this other bullshit.
Yeah, and that Jesus movie is still in the top 10. So yeah. So There you go, Steve-O. Go watch that shit.
Right. Holiday. Oh, here we go. Yeah, he's wilding. Don't worry. We will acknowledge you, Bono. Yeah. So, all right. Can we move on to the next part? That's all I want to say.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Now we're here. We're here at it. Everybody see the thumbnail. I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna let Eli talk about it. Like I said, whenever we talk about Star Wars, sorry, but you know the rule, Eli. You know the rule. Whenever we talk about Star Wars, it can get volatile. So I have to step back sometimes. And let you just go at it and just see what you go, and then we'll see where we go from there. And I may or may not jump in, or may just jump into something else. I don't know. We'll see. So,
but you said you watched it though, right?
I did, but I'm gonna let you talk about it.
All right.
I'll jump in when I need to, or if I'm needed at all. You know, for those that know, like I said, we're talking about Andor season 2, episodes 1 through 3. You know, and I'm gonna just let go.
Yeah, episodes 1 through 3 dropped the other night. Checked them out, and it's continuing the season. It's continuing the Andor season. Now, Andor is sort of a mixed bag for people because it's a more serious, adult themed Star Wars project, which has divided fans. Everything divides Star Wars fans. You know, no matter what they do, people are going to bitch about it. They bitched about this for being too slow, not enough action, not enough lightsabers, not enough pew, 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 too serious, too slow, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. But a lot of people did like it because it was more mature and it tackled more mature themes, you know, showing the effects of a fascist empire has on the rest of the galaxy and what people do. Dealing with that. Yeah. Yes. Han, Leia, Luke, Chewie, they were all having fun with the lightsabers and the space battles, but the rest of the galaxy were living under the iron fist of the Empire. And that's what this show focuses on. So more of a serious tone.
Because when you really think about it, the movies never really explain how bad the Empire is. They just said they're bad, but why are they bad?
Yeah. I mean, occasionally, there's mass destruction, blowing up of planets, mass genocide. And, we've seen, decapitations, and we've seen some shit, Anakin, you know, you know, in the younglings. Yeah, I mean, we've seen some shit.
So they show what they did with Lando City. They just took that shit over.
Yeah, but Andor and like Rogue One, that showed the effects of what it had on the people, you know. So that's what Andor was about. It was a more serious, mature themed Star Wars show.
Star Wars for adults. So
yeah, Star Wars for adults. Which is funny because most of the Star Wars fans are fucking old ass motherfuckers. That's
a different topic.
Yeah. It's about fucking time, you know.
Right.
So season 2 picked up. It happens a year later. We have Andor still doing shit for the rebellion. We still catching up on Mon Mothma and her shit she's doing. And then Bix, Andor's girlfriend, his woman, who's hiding out on a farm planet, kind of laying low and working without a permit on this farm planet, hiding out from the Empire. So yes, it was going again. It was, the show tackles real world socio-political, topics,
in space.
In space, yes. But this week it caused a stir. Episode 3 in particular kind of divided the fan base because it went to a place that Star Wars has never gone to before, involving SA. I won't say, I don't want to get us marked or whatever, but yes, we've never gone there in Star Wars. And that has sort of divided the fan base with a bunch of discussions. Should Star Wars go there? Is Star Wars going too far by addressing that? That's kind of been the chatter all week. And I can understand it. I can understand people taken aback by that episode and what happened. I was taken back. I didn't expect it to go there. Yes, Bix was, attacked by an Imperial officer who tried to force himself on her. It was a very hard scene to watch, and I didn't expect it. And there was no trigger warnings or nothing. Nothing. There was nothing, hey, warning, this episode contains mature, blah, blah, blah. No, it didn't prepare any of us. So I can understand if if people got triggered by it, I get it. Some people feel Star Wars is a more family friendly thing, and there shouldn't be a place for that. And
you can't make a toy out of that. So
yeah, I get that. Yeah, are they going to release the the creepy Imperial Guard figure?
Right.
you know what I mean? You Admiral fucking creep fuckboy.
Right.
You know what I mean? The
Admiral Incel.
I want that toy. Yeah, and that's the thing. Is because this is the same universe where Ewoks exist. This is where Baby Yoda exists. This is where Jar Jar and the Porgs exist. Star Wars has always been sort of family friendly. That's just how we've been conditioned to consume it. Yeah, I mean, yes, Eli? Like we did. Yes, there are parts. Yes, there is violence. Yes, Death Star blowing up planets.
I'm saying, don't they have like a planet of prostitutes in Star Wars?
I'm sure they do.
The Twi'leks?
That's all suggested. Yes, they're suggested.
Is it though? That's what I'm saying.
But that's the thing is we've never been shown it. This episode showed the actual act, which is what not people.
Suggested, it's like it's showing you in the face.
Which is what people have an issue with. This should it go there? Is it going too far if they do go there? This is the franchise that was basically funded by toys. You know. So I understand if people find it triggering and it turns them off. I get it. If you don't want to watch it, maybe don't watch it. That's how I say, if you don't like it, don't watch it. But I think the first season of Andor has prepared the audience. This is an adult themed show with more mature topics that you should have saw this coming. You know what I mean? Or you shouldn't be surprised. This is showing fascism, how fascism works, how oppression works, how colonizers have worked. You know, that was a big part of colonization and imposing their will. You know, and it was a very
that's what they did.
Yes, that's what and she even used the word. She used the R word. You know
what's crazy about it? That was actually more shocking than the actual action. When she said it out loud.
When she said it, I was like, holy shit. Like,
whoa, we're going there. Okay.
Yeah, we were there. And I, you know, because it was like you could see him being a creep, you know, and of course, you know, she's an illegal. She didn't have her papers. You know, she didn't have her ID, her work permit, and he's like, "Well, maybe we can work something out." Like, oh my god,
this guy's nail on the head. She's Hispanic, also.
Yeah, and then he attacks her, and like, holy shit! And I was taken back. I was not prepared for that, you know. So I get it. Had that how people can find it, you know, a little too much. I get it, you know. But I'll tell you one thing. It got a reaction. Yeah. It got a reaction out of me. I was like, "Holy shit!"
It got a reaction on social media. It was like it was spoiled for me. So when I just typed in Andor on Twitter, that's the first thing that popped up. Andor rape. I'm like, what? What the fuck going on here? You know?
Yeah, because I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "You better kill this motherfucker, Bix. Get his ass."
And that's what I'm glad about in that scene. I'm glad that Andor didn't come and just save her out of somewhere and risk it.
Yeah, no, I was like,
she take out your attacker.
Yeah, she fucked him up. She beats his ass to death with like a tool, like a wrench or something.
Right.
And I was like, fuck yeah, get that motherfucker. But then I was like, oh shit. Now you got a dead Imperial guard in your house, and stormtroopers are like searching the village. My heart was pounding. So it worked. Yep. I hadn't felt suspense like that in Star Wars since like when the Emperor was force shocking Luth at the end of Return of the Jedi. Like I hadn't felt intensity like that, the suspense like that. You know what I mean? So it worked, you know? So yeah, that was the highlight. I don't want to say the highlight. I don't want to say it's my favorite part, but as for the rest of the episodes, I did feel we're back. This is Andor. This is a slow burn. We're not going to there's not going to be any lightsabers. There's not going to be a lot of pewing and action and stuff, you know.
And it's sure running shit up ahead of time, so don't expect any of this stuff. He's saying, I'm not doing it. I'm telling this story. That's what I'm going
to do. Yeah. And I feel like, okay, so they're going to release 3 episodes every week.
Oh, are they? I didn't know that. I thought they was doing
Yeah, which I find I think can be a little exhausting because these are like hour-long episodes.
Yeah.
So like, damn, I got to watch a 3-hour movie every week. Like that's
watch an episode a day. you pace yourself.
And then you know how it is. It can get spoiled.
And that's what happened to me. Andor raped. So Andor gets raped. What the fuck goes on?
Oh man, yeah, we're getting canceled.
Oh oh man.
But you know, as far as like the show. Yes, it was we're back to Andor the show dealing with real world political topics. You know, like I said, Bix is an illegal immigrant working illegally on a farm planet. You know, we have, you know, Andor, it starts out with Andor sort of stealing a new ship, a new TIE fighter. It looks like an interceptor. And then he crash land, or he was supposed to meet a rendezvous on a planet, but the person he was supposed to meet was dead, and then he gets captured by 2 factions of rebels who are bickering. So they're rebels, but they're 2 factions and they're fighting each other. So there you go. There's the left, the Dems, who can never unite and are always bickering amongst, you know what I mean? So you had that sort of comment on that, you know. And he's held hostage by these 2 factions for 3 episodes. I thought that was probably the weakest part. For me, it was just like him being held hostage for 3 episodes. Right. And then Mon Mothma, who's the billionaire who's trying to fund the rebellion, but you know, she's under the watchful eye of the Empire and everybody else. She's got to lay low, and she's realizing that she's going to have to sacrifice some shit because she's realized this is during her daughter's wedding. You know, her daughter it's a fixed, they're royalty. They're rich royalty. They have arranged marriages. Her daughter is being married off to another wealthy family, and they're going to combine their wealth and all that royalty shit. And she's realizing, you know, her daughter is a spoiled rich brat. and she's surrounded by privileged billionaires who got their heads up their asses, who do not give a fuck what the Empire is doing to the rest of the galaxy, So she has to make a sacrifice. She was realizing that in these episodes. That was another meme of Mon Mothma dancing at the wedding.
That's the thing. Andor rape, Mon Mothma dancing. So yeah, that's like two things right behind each other.
Yeah. Mon Mothma's like, fuck it, this is my last party before shit, because, and then there's that whole thing with her friend who's trying to blackmail her and shit, and Luthen's probably going to put a hit out on him. And then again, it's showing how grimy the rebels are, that they're just gangsters ready to, like that dude's probably dead. Then of course there's the Empire that's plotting on taking over a planet because they need their natural resources.
That spider planet.
Yeah, and they need so they're running a propaganda campaign to try and smear their image and get the rest of the galaxy to turn against them because they want their resource. And they're talking about, well, if we can set up like some sort of unrest so people start protesting, that'll give us a reason to go there and shut the planet down. So, again, dealing with real world, topics and shit. So, I dig the comments that are making again, but I did feel it did drag a bit, especially watching 3 episodes back to back, which is what I did. I felt it did drag. I felt the pacing was a little off. Not that I wanted lightsabers to come out. I just like, okay, let's go. Let's move along. Like the whole blackmailing thing. Like, I was like, come on, what are you going to do to this guy? Something's got to be done to this guy. And then at the end, they just like put him in a little cab or whatever. And the driver is what's her face's old lover. So, she's going to fucking kill him.
Yeah. Oh, the driver, she's on Doctor Who now. That's the companion now. But yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like a lot, I dig what it has to say, but I felt it dragged a bit. At least these first 3 episodes for me. It could get better. Who knows? Like this is just the start. We have another 9 episodes to go. And I think what makes this show interesting, even though it's a prequel and even though we know it's going to happen, it's the fact that they're not giving up, the fact that how driven all these characters are. Like we know how Andor is going to end up,
right.
But he's so determined. He's so determined, and it's that hope, I guess, that keeps him going. And an issue I have, because sounds like this is going to be a tragedy. We know how these characters end up, so this is not going to end good.
And plus, they've already said final season.
Yeah, because this is supposed to lead into Rogue One. We know how Rogue One ends. My thing with Bix, and a problem, I guess one problem I had with that scene with Bix is Bix has been through the ringer now. I mean, last season she was tortured. She got captured and tortured. Now this shit happens to her. Like if she meets some fucked up tragic end, like come on, that's gonna suck. Like,
right.
Like, how much can this chick go through? Like, come on, So I'm kind of feeling bad for her where she ends up because she's not in Rogue One,
Right, not at all. So something had to happen to her.
Yeah, so that makes me that there's a sense of dread, and I feel like this isn't going to end well. So, and that kind of puts a taint on everything. We're like, okay, I do like to watch Star Wars for fun, and when it goes into these real world scenarios, like, oh damn, this ain't fun.
Right.
So I get it. I get the backlash. But like I said, this isn't that kind of show. We have plenty of fluffy Star Wars shit. If this bugs you, don't watch it.
And you can have different tone Star Wars shows. So.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they need it. They need to have different tone Star. Everything don't have to be the same because the franchise won't survive like that if you keep doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I feel like season 1 has prepared us for that. I mean, they did drop swear words. They say shit and they almost dropped the F-bomb in last season, but they censored it at the last minute.
Right.
Like she was supposed to say "fuck the Empire," but then they changed it to "fight the Empire."
Disney step it is. So yeah.
Yeah. Can't say fuck. So yeah, that's my. I guess I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. Like I was interesting. I just felt it dragged a little bit, So, and maybe I should just watch it an episode at a time.
Like, yeah, instead of just binging it like that. So
yeah,
like
that's like 3 hours. Like, oh damn,
Yeah, a show
I started feeling it. Yeah, I started by the third episode. Yeah, I started feeling.
But like I said, you
yeah.
will get shit spoiled. So yeah, if it happens. So
yeah.
All right. Moving
anything you like to add?
Are you sure?
Sure. Yeah, let's go there. Fuck it.
Okay, here we go. All right. This show boring as shit, man. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Honestly, everything you're saying on this show right now, you actually, that's what happened. Okay, I didn't know that, because I was kind of like checking in and out what's going on with this show. But here's the thing, Eli. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the show being boring as shit. You want to know why? Do you hear that? Do you hear it?
But nothing.
You don't hear it? Exactly. That's my whole point. Nobody's bitching. Nobody's complaining about shit. Nobody's up in the rain. And you got, I mean, it's a few people, but not like it was with the Acolyte. Not like it was with anything else watched like that. This is just like I can watch this boring ass show in peace, and nobody's fucking with me. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. If you don't like. Yeah, if you don't like Andor, it's not because you're racist.
Right, exactly. Because here's the thing, Eli. When Acolyte came out, and people didn't listen to our show, all they just saw is the thumbnails I was making and shit like that. So they automatically assume that we were like the other people. Oh, you don't like Andor because of this. I'm sorry. You don't like Acolyte because of this, and that. Oh, you racist, or you hate women, or you hate whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? People that never comment on it, they just see the thumbnails and like, see. Are y'all like the rest of the guy? Y'all just some racist ass Star Wars. I'm like, no, man. We are giving points why we don't like this show. We are not like these other assholes out here. We're not just saying shit just to be saying shit. But with Andor, nobody's caring. You either like the show or you don't like the show. If you don't like the show, you leave it the fuck alone, moving on. Nobody's bitching, nobody's complaining. It's so quiet over here, Eli. It is a peaceful life. That's why I'm enjoying it.
So you like it because it's boring?
Yes, I like it because it's boring. It's like fishing, man. It's just like you just have people. Nobody's bothering you. Just watching the show. That's it. But yeah, other than that, I mean, like I said, as far as the show going deeper into it, like I said, Eli, I'll be honest with you, I don't like Andor. The character, the actor.
The character.
I don't like him at all. Never liked him in anything. Didn't like him in Rogue One. Didn't like him in season 1. Don't like him in season 2. Even when they cut to him, but it almost like the show knows that because it has so little Andor in Andor. I forget it's an Andor show.
Yeah, and that's the thing is he's like that, especially with these first 3 episodes. Mm-hmm. His storyline, him on that planet being held hostage, was like the least interesting. Every time it cut to that, I didn't care. I checked out. Like, I don't care what's happening.
But he's the main character.
He's the main character.
So it's just like, what the fuck, man?
And I think it's like, and I think one of the reasons why I checked out, because that was the traditional Star Wars storytelling. This is the side adventure, because that's what Star Wars is. It's all cliffhangers and side adventures, and the further chronicles of some misadventures of whatever. That's what keeps happening. The characters go someplace, they end up in a pod race. They end up inside the stomach of a space slug. They end up, wherever, like going to Tatooine and killing sand people. There's always a side quest. And this was just Andor. I'm supposed to meet this guy, but now I'm kidnapped for 3 episodes and I got to escape to save the day. Yes. At the end of episode 3, he comes in and saves the day. Pew, 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 spaceship. Blowing shit up. There's the Star Wars everybody recognized. That was the least interesting part of the So when it went into familiar territory, I got bored.
Okay. So that's my thing. But at the same time, a show like Andor needs to exist in the Star Wars universe, tapestry, anything like that, because you need different flavors. What was that show? Elephant Crew? What was the one you saw?
Oh, Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew, but there was an elephant in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I get confused. Okay, but yeah. All right. So you got that show. You got, your bombastic shit like Mandalorian and Ahsoka. Your traditional Star Wars shit. Then you got the slower political thing like this. So you got different flavor Star Wars, and you need to have this. You need to have it. It ain't my favorite show, but it has to exist.
Yeah,
that's why I'm okay with that.
It's like Marvel. Like, has Marvel? Well, I guess it's suggested.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, like Marvel's got Daredevil, and like Daredevil went ham.
Right.
And the Marvels didn't.
Right. But it's all the same universe. So
yeah. So we can have there's room for all of that.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Now I'm saying the thing is, like I said, we talk about like I was bored as shit watching this show, but the one thing that did catch my attention was the thing you were talking about, the essay scene. I'm like, oh, now I don't agree with that scene. I don't like that scene, but it did catch my attention. It was like, oh, something's happening. It's got my attention, And people keep saying like, oh, that doesn't need to be in Star Wars. That should exist. Star Wars for kids, like that. Don't forget that Princess Leia was a sex slave.
She was.
Movies. Yeah. And that's why it kind of reminded me of that, because just like when she got attacked, when Bix got attacked, I was like, I want to make sure she kills this guy. I don't want Andor to save her. I don't want none of them other guys to save her. I want her to take out, because when I listened to the DVD commentary of Return of the Jedi with George Lucas, remember, Leia was the one that took out Jabba.
Choked his ass out.
Nobody came and saved her. Nobody. And George Lucas did that on purpose. He wanted to make sure that she was the one that took out her attacker.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't know the time frame of how long they were stuck in that, in Jabba's palace as a sex slave. We don't know. Man, I'm sure there's some Wikipedia, some bullshit like that, but we don't know how much time has passed. All we know is that Jabba was licking her face like, you will learn to appreciate me and shit like that.
And he had a bunch of slaves. I mean, he fed one of them to the Rancor.
He had, and it was a Twi'lek. Like I said, but we're gonna go there. Like I said, just things that it's just been hitting at. But that's my whole point, is that, like I said, they've had sexual situations suggested in there. But like I said, this is
Han and Leia, they've kissed. There's been romance.
Yeah,
but nothing that extreme.
Sexual assault like this. So
that extreme. So.
But
and now that's the thing, is like, that's the debate. Should that exist? Because does that, like, did Snyder go that hard in the DC universe? Like,
you see, you want to go there, Eli? You want to go there?
Sure.
Might as well, man. I have a thing prepared.
Okay.
Okay, because just like we got a banned topic of Star Wars, our other banned topic is Zack Snyder. So I decided to go 2 for 1. Go for it.
Let's get it all out.
Did you see my post?
Yeah, about the scene or whatever, the scene stealing or whatever.
Yeah, they tore my ass up in the comment section. Like, you should be proud.
I did. Well, like, I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, it was like a shot for. It was like a shot for shot edit.
No. I'm going deeper than that.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. If you just go by the shot for shot, and I should have explained myself that way I wouldn't have got cooked in the comment section like that. But I'm explaining myself now, so I'm here. So,
okay,
like I said, I'm putting it up there right now, and like I said, I'm showing the scene back and forth where, like I said, this is from Rebel Moon. If anybody don't know, which Rebel Moon is a ripoff of Star Wars,
which was supposed to be a Star Wars movie, like,
which is
Zack
supposed to be a Star Wars
movie.
But then you have Andor ripping off Rebel Moon, which is a ripoff of Star Wars. It's like, what? Can you rip off a ripoff? But my point is, I'm trying to make, Eli, is that yes, that scene looked like it was shot for shot, but that's not just the only thing. Is remember that Bix was on a grain planet. And like, then the Empire came in and occupied the planet because they wanted wheat or grain or some shit to feed them. And they occupied the planet until they did the shit. And then they got handsy with one of the maidens, whatever like that. And then all out revolt went like that. That's Rebel Moon.
Did that happen? I only saw the one.
All of that shit happened in Rebel Moon. The sexual assault scene, all that shit happened in Rebel Moon.
Oh, well, Rebel Moon. I'm talking about like DC or Marvel.
I don't know. Probably
like in the movies. Did the MCU ever go there? I don't think so. Or did the DCU? Did Snyder? And like Snyder got dark, but did he get that dark? in the DC.
Honestly, if my mind don't want to go there, right? If he did, I don't want to go there.
Let's not like go research. We don't need to go research.
I don't want to research that shit. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
But my point is, I think that's what people found jarring. Like Marvel is supposed to be fun and fluffy, and DC, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, it's fun and fluffy. Star Wars, fun and fluffy.
Now, let's
shit!
The movies. I can't think of a situation. It may be on the tip of my can't think about it. But I will say this: in the comics.
Oh yeah, the comics, yes.
Yeah, the comics. Because here's the thing: how? Okay, remember when we keep talking about like Invincible and that chick that whatever fuck happened and shit like that?
Yeah.
There was a Twitter post I saw a while ago of a list of Marvel and DC male characters that have got sexually assaulted. Eli, you would not believe how long that list was. I was like, whoa. And then I remember reading stuff like, yep, that happened. Yeah. Thor, Hulk, Black Panther, Nightwing. What the shit?
Again, we don't need to research, but yeah, I get the
right. It was just like, whoa, what the fuck?
And that's the comics. This, that's not like the movie. Like I said, the movies are a different thing. It's like I said, people expect sort of fun, fluffy, safety for the most part. It's escapism.
DC or Marvel even hinted at that stuff.
Yeah. So, and I think when I think that's the issue people had with this. Yes, we see it in The Boys. We see it in The Invincible. Yes, we see it. We've seen it in other indie shit, Sin City and what have you. But I'm talking about the actual like DC, Marvel, Star Wars is supposed to be like kid friendly, I guess, to a certain extent. And I think that's the issue people had. And which I understand, but you don't, like I said, there's all kinds of stuff to consume. You don't have to consume the shit you don't like,
Gotcha. So we're agreeing that he ripped off Zack Snyder. Gotcha.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. As long as we're on the same page. Okay. All right. Can you move on to the next part of the podcast?
Sure.
I should have did a thing, but I'm not going to do it. Okay. Predator, you're up. Because I didn't do a thing.
Let me get a drink of water.
Okay.
Getting parched. Okay, the trailer for Predator Badlands dropped this week. So, yes, the new movie coming out this summer.
Yeah.
They dropped it. They had a bunch of footage. Basically, it takes place in some sort of future. What's her name? Dakota Fanning? Elle Fanning? One of the Fannings. She is playing a Wayland Yutani droid, synthetic.
Oh shit! Is this AVP3?
It looks like they're crossing over to AVP territory. So that's pretty cool. But they released the scenario or the sort of the plot, and it's basically a young Predator is trying to prove himself as a warrior because Predators are like a warrior society, a hunter society, and he's has to prove himself. So he decides to go to a really dangerous planet to kill some dangerous monster that no one's ever been killed, that no one's ever killed before. So he's trying to prove himself. And you know what that sounds like? That sounds like the Black Panther versus Predator comic.
Oh, because, it did sound like that, yeah.
Because there are different hierarchies, to the Predator society. This is a young
the Yautja, what they call it?
The Yautja, yes.
Yeah.
This Predator in this movie is a young Predator, has not gone on a hunt yet, has not proven himself, has not been blooded, has not reached the rank, hasn't gained the respect of the rest of the clan. He has to prove himself. So that's what this is about. But I think it sounds pretty cool. However, the internet went crazy because put that picture up.
Okay, here we go.
And had a picture of this young Predator, and people freaked out. Some people are like, "Oh my God, he looks too human. He's, what the hell? Why is he so small? Like he's he's like a child."
Right.
And then there's them.
Uh-oh. Those guys.
Yeah. This is DEI. This is woke. Why is the Predater black?
Why is he a they or some shit? You know?
Why does the predator have black skin? Predators should have white skin. There's all that
blue hair and all this shit, whatever the fuck going on.
Yes, all that bullshit. So we've officially, we've officially crossed the line where it's not just Star Wars fans, it's just not just Marvel fans, it's not just DC fans. All you fucking nerds suck.
They really do. And here's the thing, Eli, we know they don't care. They just do this shit just to rile up people.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck if Predator has blue hair or whatever like that? Nobody just is like fuming at this shit. I'm gonna flip a table over because nobody cares, man.
Yeah. It's pretty stupid. Like
it really is. I don't know. I'm trying to go down that road. That's all I'm saying.
And I'm excited, but then again, I'm also reserved because for me, I love Predator, especially the first two movies, and I love Prey. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of Predator movies that actually suck that I don't like at all. So I'm a little reserved. Oh yeah, that looks cool, but then I've been let down before, so I'm reserved. I'm like, yeah, that does look cool, but it could suck. Like the one Predator movie with Keen Peele or whatever, like that movie sucked. The one with Olivia Munn.
I never saw it. So
yeah, the one that with Olivia Munn, that movie sucked. I didn't like Predators. I didn't like the AVP movie sucked. So I dislike more Predator movies than I actually do like. So so yeah. But I read comics. I read a bunch of Predator comics. I will be reviewing a Predator comic later. If I don't, like I said, if you don't like the movies, there's other media you can consume, which is what I do.
but then they can't bitch about it.
Yeah,
they can't bitch about it if you don't see it.
And you know what pisses me off? The thing. Yes, I'm a nerd. This is what pisses me off about other nerds, especially when it comes to Boba Fett. Like, oh, Boba Fett sucked. He died all stupid. He's a bitch. Yeah, but in the comics and in the books, see, that's stupid. Why do I got to read a book or a comic book to see how cool a character is? It's called reading, you dumb fuck. Like, it's called critical thinking, asshole. If you're an actual fan of something, you will, explore this thing that you're a fan of, instead of being a filthy casual that just bitches every time a movie comes out every 10 years. Right. And, read a book, motherfuckers. Damn. So, yeah.
All right. We move past that. Okay.
You're up, right?
I'm up. It's on me. All right. We're going to talk about something we can both jump in on. Wednesday on Netflix, season 2. Yes, Wednesday is back. I guess. Let me know when she dances in this. That's the only thing I really cared about in that show. So I know it's going to happen. So Eli, I want you to tag me when the new TikTok thing shows up. So
is that Century?
Who?
That dude. Is that the dude who plays Century?
No, I think that's you know who that guy is? That's on tip of my tongue. That's that guy.
That guy?
That's that guy. Muse.
Okay. Mutants.
Muse.
Oh,
Muse. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew he looked familiar for a second.
You just said, I was like, oh, because I kept thinking like I'd seen that guy from somewhere before.
Yeah, that's so did I. I like that's why I knew it was a Marvel thing. So yeah, we just saw him. Okay.
All right. That's the end of the Wednesday talk. I don't give a shit about that. Here's what I want to talk about. Remember last week, Eli, I promised you I was going to bring you a black Jenna Ortega.
Okay.
Here we go. All right.
I didn't know what you meant. What the fuck are you talking about?
So, yes, we got a black Jenna Ortega out right now.
Let me get my glasses.
Okay, zoom in on that. Bono, Steve Bano, bands. Comment on that shit. I know if you're still here. Because I know you. Do we support black Jenna Ortega? Yes, we support black Jenna Ortega. How about that? So, yeah. All right. So, for those who don't know who this is Taylor Russell. That's what she is right now.
Okay.
She's rumored to be dating Michael B. Jordan because, of course, why not?
Mm-hmm.
So, but the point is, Hollywood has caught on to people been saying that Jenna Ortega and Taylor Russell look so much together that they're making a remake, because they always make a remake of a movie, of Single White Female. That's what I'm not making this up. This is on. I got this from Deadline. They're really doing this. So yeah. My only thing is, you might want to change the name of the movie. That's all. That's
oh shit! They open up a big old can of worms with that. What is this movie going to be called?
I'm just saying you can't. You can't. You know, that's all I'm saying. So, so you asked for it, Eli. I gave you Black Jenna Ortega. So yeah, there you go.
Well, I didn't ask for it. You
just
that's the name of the movie.
Right. Give me a Latina Beyonce or some shit. You know? All right, where are we now? Oh, I think it's back. It's back on you, Eli. It's back on you. Okay,
is it?
It is. Boom. I'm gonna throw this up there. I'm gonna just let you just go.
What's it say?
Boom.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is just so Toho, the film company in Japan, who's produced a bunch of shit, including Godzilla movies. They own the rights to Godzilla. So they are doing a campaign to produce more movies to go international. So they got a big budget to just make more movies and to get more international audiences. And that includes a Godzilla sequel and a sequel to -1. So that's official now. They are making a sequel to -1. So that's it. So that'll be pretty cool. Same director, same team. They'll probably get a little bit of a bigger budget.
Well, what are they going to call it? Is it going to be called -2?
Or just 1?
Or 0?
Or 0? Godzilla -0?
Yeah.
You know when I first heard the title to -1, which was like a year or two ago before the movie came out.
Yeah.
And it said -1, what does that mean? I thought Godzilla was below Monster Zero, which is Ghidra. Because there's a movie called Invasion of Monster Zero, which was Ghidra, when the Exilians brought Ghidra to Earth to take over Earth, blah, 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 blah. He was called Monster Zero. So when they said -1, it's Godzilla -1. Like he's...
I think you reached too hard on that.
Yeah, that was my nerd. That was me being a fucking nerd.
Okay. The reach is too much.
Yes, let me go outside and frolic into the park.
Touch grass.
Yeah, let me get outside. Let me get some fresh air.
All right. So can we throw it back on me? Okay. Yeah. We're at the video game section. I briefly talked about this last week, but I want to go a little bit in depth on that because I actually seen the show. We're gonna talk about The Last of Us.
Okay.
The Last of Us season 2. Like I said, we talked about it last week. It happened. Oh boy died. It's it. He's out of there.
Yeah, I heard. I did see all the internet going wild about this shit.
Yeah, but it was all I could do was watch reactions and stuff like that. No, I actually watched the episode, and because I was telling my friends, my friends had already seen it. So because remember, I haven't played part 2. I hadn't played that game or anything like that. So my friends were saying, "Oh yeah, it's just like the game," and they were making all these like golf club jokes and shit. I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about. But then when I actually saw the episode, I'm like, oh, I get it. Hilarious, but also fucked up, but still. So now I understand what's going on. So I'll be honest with you, Eli. That episode, I think it was episode 2, season 2. Honestly, that was a 10-10 episode, one of the best episodes TV ever seen. I think it's up there. That being said, they might have killed the show.
I did see like TikTok is like flooded with reactions.
Yeah, it's some people knew it was gonna happen, some people didn't know it was gonna happen, so you're getting reactions all over the place, stuff like that. But that's
and there are people saying I'm totally done with the show. Yeah. I'm not watching the show.
So here's the thing: there is a trope called jumping the shark. Have you ever heard of it, Eli?
Yeah.
Okay. For those that don't know what we're talking about, there's a TV show called Jumping the Shark. It actually comes from Happy Days, where the Fonz surfs and in a leather jacket actually jumps over a shark. And the thing is, some people say this episode was so ridiculous that the show never recovered, and the show was worse of it, and probably getting canceled because of that. So basically, the term of jumping the shark is when the show takes such a big swing that you really don't recover after that, and you kind of like it's a still of itself. Even if you keep going, but it eventually leads to your downfall after a while. We got plenty of examples of jumping the shark. Honestly, Eli, for Community, I think the paintball episode was jumping the shark.
Really?
I think they kept chasing it high after a while. where they stop trying to be real character, and let's just be cartoon characters. Let's go over the top and zany and shit. You know?
That's the episode that hooked me.
No. I love the episode. That's what I'm saying. I love the episode. I'm just saying every episode after that, I think the show took a dive or it dipped after that.
Yeah,
because they reached such a high. You can't match that high.
Well, the Russo. Are we gonna go to the community? Because when the Russos got there, that's when the show got really good.
Right.
And then when they left, and then Dan Harmon got fired for a season, then it took another dive.
Right. I mean, cause the paintball episode got them the Marvel job.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that was like, oh yeah, we're hiring these guys on the spot. So yeah, that's what did it. But like I said, and when they left, I think people tried to keep it going. They were like, let's not do paintball, but let's just make every episode trying to capture that energy.
Well, like imitate. They're trying to imitate.
They're trying to imitate. And I think it lost itself. It lost itself in the meaning of it. So that's what I mean by jumping the shark there. So I think the same thing with this. Like I said, I seen the new episode of The Last of Us. I seen it. Joel isn't there. It's about Ellie and some other chick, the Hawk Girl chick, the Madam Web chick. She did a bunch of shit. You know her when you see her. The point is, the episode is just about them. The whole episode is about them mourning because it said about Joel and what they need to do and stuff like that. And it was a somber episode, but at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm like, where are we going with this? Am I invested in this? Am I invested on a bunch of side characters now trying to be the lead? Am I invested? I don't know. Now I'm gonna keep watching to see, but I don't know. It may be, I don't know. I'm gonna just keep watching to see before I make a full suggestion of it. Like, did the show kneecap itself by kneecapping Joel? That's what I don't even know. So,
did Fonzie jump in a shark?
Yeah, it do that. So I will let you know whether or not it did.
In Milwaukee. Doesn't that still take place in Milwaukee?
It took place in Milwaukee. Yep. Laverne and Shirley. Remember that was a spinoff.
Well, Lake Superior. Is there sharks in Lake Superior? I don't know. It's a fresh water.
I don't know.
It's a fresh water. Do they? I don't know. Maybe there is. I don't know.
Why were there sharks in Gladiator 2? They do what the fuck they want to do, man. Doesn't really matter. Yeah. All right. Let me see if we move on to the next part of the podcast.
Sure.
Okay. Like I said, this Comic Bullies, where we talk about comic books. We're going to jump into it. Elon, I'm going to jump in first because you got more books, and we'll see where we go from there. So.
Okay. I'm just going to start out with my book of the week.
Already? Off the rip? Okay.
Yeah, man. Book of the week. Predator versus Spider-Man, number 1.
I figured that's what we had. Bam. Okay.
Yeah. And I gotta stand corrected. I was worried about Marvel taking over Predator and Alien Comics. It's like, are they gonna go as hard as Dark Horse? Are they gonna go as gory? And this issue has proven me wrong. I stand corrected, y'all. There you go.
Well, I think because Marvel technically it isn't a Marvel comic, they got their own imprint.
Mm-hmm. But
so
they got Spider-Man in it too, though.
Yeah, you got Spider-Man. So I'm thinking, okay, you can't go as hard with Spider. Like Wolverine and Black Panther, you can go there, but Spider-Man, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah. So we start out, and the city is hot. We're in New York. The city's hot. It's very hot. There's a heat wave, and that's what attracts predators. You know, the heat and conflict. You know, it's the concrete jungle. You know, some agent, some FBI agent or whatever, or the detective is investigating a murder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it turns out a bunch of bodies have been skinned alive. And pieces of their bodies have been taken, a jaw, a finger, I think a heart. So, and he's like, this isn't a work of a regular serial killer. This guy's taking trophies, you know. It turns out Peter Parker has snuck his way onto the crime scene and has taken photos. And he's taking photos of the dead body. And he's talking to Jay Jonah like, yo, I got a scoop. The fucked up serial killer skinning people alive. You know, I got a scoop. I got a story. And, you know, so he's on his way back to the Bugle to give Jonah the pictures while he's whipping his way through the city. Some robbers, you know, rob some shit. And so he goes and chases them back to their lair. The robbers, you know, they enter like a car parking garage and they're getting ready to, you know, their rendezvous. They're about to split up the dough, but then they all get taken out, you know, by a predator, an invisible enemy they can't see. One of them gets his face ripped off. And then you can show that picture I sent you.
Hold on. I got you. I got it uploaded. Hold on. Here we go. Bam.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy gets his face ripped off. Like the Predator just straight up rips off his face.
Like the Spider-Man who laughs.
Yeah. And then wears it like Leatherface. So that's just a sample of how hard. Yeah, they're okay. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see, there's the bodies all strewn up and skinned alive or skinned, you know. And then of course, you know, the guy gets his face ripped off and shit. So that's just showing you how
Fire-ass Spidey panel right there.
Yeah, yeah. The art is great.
Who drew this?
Who did draw this? Yeah, because the art is awesome. Let me see. Damn it. 1 sec. Sorry. Shit. Benjamin Percy wrote it. He also wrote the Black Panther book and Predator book.
And the Wolverine book. Basically all of these. He wrote all
Yeah, Wolverine, yeah. Is it back at the beginning? Where's it at? Okay. Marcelo Ferreira.
Doesn't sound familiar, but okay.
And then inker is Jay Leiston. Colorist is Frank Diamata. So kudos to all those guys. You know. So meanwhile, during the heat wave, there's a power outage because it's so hot. You know, everyone's got their air conditioners blasting at the same time, so it causes a power surge. Power goes out. MJ happens to be riding the subway when the power goes out, so now she's stuck in the subway, and everyone's freaking out and shit. And then they hear something outside, and there's a Predator outside the train on the train tracks. Peter Parker's at the Bugle. He decides, hey, you know, since internet's down and, you know, electric power's out, why don't we go old school and just print papers again on paper? Get the press up. We'll get the press up. We'll print papers and we'll go sell them manually like we used to. Because Jay Jono's been complaining about how sales are down. Nobody reads the paper anymore. So, well, now the power's out. People can't watch TV. They can't get on the internet. We're their only news source. Let's get the paper into people's hands. So they do. They start printing papers. Meanwhile, the FBI agent or the detective that's investigating the murders shows up to the Bugle and like, who the fuck took these pictures? Peter Parker? Well, he's under arrest for violating a crime scene or disturbing a crime scene without authority. Because he took those pictures of the bodies and shit and printed them in the paper. But he's Spider-Man. He takes off and goes, you know, out into the night, you know, goes home to check on MJ. She's gone. He's like, what the hell? Where's MJ? Well, she's still stuck on the train, you know. Meanwhile, on the city, people are starting to, you know, riot and shit, you know, because the power's out. It's New York City. Power's out. People are going wild. You know, a bunch of, you know, robbers are about to jump somebody, and then an arrow goes through one of the robber's hands, and he's like, "Oh shit! What the fuck did that? Was it a predator? No, it was Kraven the Hunter."
Kraven shows up. Okay, all right,
and he goes, "Huh? What were you saying about this serial killer? This predator?"
Oh, now the predator becomes the prey.
I want to hunt this thing.
Fuck,
so now
I just want that now.
So to be continued.
Yeah, but you can't sell Kraven because of that shitty ass movie, so you can't put him on there. So that's the fucked up part of it, man. Like you can't sell Morbius anymore because of that shitty ass movie. You know?
Or Madam Web.
You never could tell me that was never going to work anyway.
That was a miracle that it even exists.
Right? Like, why? Who thought that was going to be an idea?
Yeah. So yeah, this is awesome. This was dope. I didn't. I mean, I like the Black Panther. I did like the Black Panther story. I thought the switching of the art was a little jarring, but I did enjoy the story.
Panels, but
yeah, they kept switching artists every other page and every issue and shit. But I did enjoy the story, and I did enjoy this story. But the gore, how brutal and gory this is, I was like, holy shit, this is fucking ill. This is a Spider-Man book where people are getting skinned alive and shit.
Like, You
Yeah.
Deadpool or some shit, but not Spider-Man.
Yeah. And then Craven shows up. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. I'm here.
Now,
You
here's
got
the
me.
thing. If it's really a Craven book disguised as a Spider-Man book, I'm all for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spider-Man Craven team up. I'm all for it. I'm all over that. So yeah. So
because I was like, man, what's fucking Spider-Man gonna do with the Predator? Web him up and crack a bunch of wisecracks? I don't want to see that. But then Craven shows up. I'm like, okay, all right.
Like, okay, Marvel, you got something with this. Okay.
Yeah. So good on Benjamin Percy for coming on with that shit. So yeah, I'll get a 4.5 out of 5. It's just too short, man. This blazed by really quick. I was like, oh man. So yeah.
All right. So
4.5.
4.5. Okay. So I'm gonna do One World Under a Doom Part 3.
Oh, I read this.
Oh, did you? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
One Nation Under a Doom. We're here right there. All right. We skipped Part 3. Well, we skipped Part 2 because we were doing something. I can't remember what the fuck we were doing. A lot of crazy shit happened in that book. We're keeping it going from there. Point is, the Avengers can't do anything with Dr. Doom, so they decided to recruit villains to help out. So that's where we're at with it. So let's see. Boom. Yep. And let's go to it. Okay. Avengers versus Dr. Doom. Let's see what we got. So the book starts off with blow it up. Give me that. Okay, so you got the villains. You got MODOK and Dr. Octopus. Tony Stark is introducing them in Impossible City to the other villains. So you got Mysterio, Arcade, Madeline Pryor. I guess she got a new costume, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Baron
Goblin
Mordo.
Queen.
Yeah. And then the other Avengers and shit like that. So basically just like, look, you're going to team up with them. Here's what we're doing. We're just going to just throw you guys at them. You guys are just a distraction. Because we're really going to do while you doing all that bullshit, we're going to take our magic people like Baron Mordo, Scarlet Witch, and I think they got one more magic person, I think, but also Mysterio, maybe? I don't know. He may or may not have magic. The point is, they're going to get inside the minds of the world leaders and undo the mind control that Doom did to them. That's the whole point what they're trying to do. So, because the thing is that when they first tried to catch Doom in a lie, they got exposed. Then when the Fantastic Four tried to humiliate him on TV, he turned the Fantastic Four into the Fantastic Three. So now it's just like, well, fuck it. Let's just go kick his ass. Fuck all this, sneaking around shit. Let's just go get him. So they decided to do that. So they decided to go straight to Latveria, try to break in. They can't break in because Doom got that whole thing on there. All they hear is that you don't have to break in. Doom will come for you. And then he goes riding his dinosaur again. And shit like that, just fucking him up. They're fighting, and while he's fighting them, so apparently Arcade has a magic bullet that he may or may not have gotten from Mysterio, and Doom is just like, okay, stop all this bullshit. But it was just enough time to distract them. So Scarlet Witch and Baron Mordo and Madeline Pryor also, she's telepath also. So they was able to get into the mind of the world leaders to see exactly what the hell Doom did to them, to make all of them do what they want to do. When they finally got in there and find out, Scarlet Witch like, oh shit. You're like, what did he do? What did he do to them? They're like, he didn't do anything. He negotiated with them. All he did is just, he asked them what they wanted, and he did it for them. If they want somebody assassinated, he did it. If they wanted like a big titty actress, he gave it to them. That's it. Like he didn't trick him, mind control, anything like that. He delivered exactly what he said he was gonna do. Then he's fucking him up and shit like that. He was like, okay, enough of this shit, Avengers. I'm sick of this shit. He's like, look, we don't have time for this shit because while y'all fighting me right now, that supervillain prison that y'all made called the Wrath, everybody's escaping and running loose in New York City right now. So y'all can either keep fighting me, or we could all go to New York right now and put those guys back in the Wrath. And they're like, hold up, that shit don't even sound right, Doom. How are they breaking out at the exact same time we're fighting you? You did something to do with this. He was like, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. The point is, they're loose. So what you gonna do? And they're like, man, fuck that. Let's go fuck Doom up. So they do that. And Doom like, big mistake. And that's when Doom, bam, snaps his fingers and sends everybody to New York with a raft. And they put everybody back in the raft. And that's it. So meanwhile, the news report comes out that the Avengers were too busy fighting Doom, who's trying to save us, and you got guys wearing like Doom t-shirts and paraphernalia and all this shit like that. Like everybody's a Doom fan, while shitting on the Avengers because the Avengers are too busy trying to stop what Doom is doing because he's creating world peace instead of like just getting on board. And he's like, yeah, don't worry about the Avengers. I'll take care of them, but I'm for you, the people. And then not only are the people watching what Doom is doing, the Dread Dormammu is watching what Doom is doing also. You gotta see the whole thing like Tribe Called Quest. Dread Dormammu. So the whole point what he's doing, he's saying, so Doom is the Sorcerer Supreme now, and he's busy doing all this, using his powers to be a politician. What the fuck he got going on? Don't he know his real responsibilities as the Sorcerer Supreme? The Sorcerer Supreme's main job is to keep me out. Doom hadn't even thought about me. So since he's so busy worrying about the other bullshit going on, I can just invade Earth because I don't have a Sorcerer Supreme to stop me. So next issue, Dormammu versus Dr. Doom. So says the Dread Dormammu. So
for the funk of it.
So, like I said, fun book. Now we're starting to get to the meat of it. Now we're starting to see what's going on because Doom's so worried about, being the big dude. Like the Sorcerer Supreme actually got
being low, getting all this attention.
Right. Like you have a job, Doom. You're supposed to be Sorcerer Supreme. Like,
yeah.
So
yeah, it's funny that like Doom is so arrogant and he, just wants world domination that his arrogance forgot, like, hey, you ain't that's his biggest weakness. That's Doom's biggest weakness is how his ego.
His ego is his biggest weakness. Yeah. If he would just check his ego, but he can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
like one of the books he told like a celestial, like fuck you or some shit. Like you just kneel to me, Doom, and I will give you like fuck you, man. Doom answers nobody. So yeah, overall 4/5. I'm enjoying the book. Don't know where it's going. I think in the Avengers, I'm not reading it, but the Avengers 25 just came out. It's like an exact continuation we have, like when the Avengers go to the Raft, and Sam Wilson gets fucked up. He's like, look, I can't do this shit no more, man. I got no powers. I can't keep up with y'all. And I think he gets a new suit to get him like super speed, super strength, all that bullshit. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not reading them, but I know there's a bunch of tie-ins for the Doom
it's a lot.
world or whatever.
Like I said, we didn't talk about what happened in the Fantastic Four, but just know they got fucked up. So yeah. All right. So what you got next?
I will do G.I. Joe number 6.
G.I. Joe.
I got a double dose of Joe this week. So this is the main,
and nobody have the battle.
Yeah, G.I. Joe. So this is number 6. Cobra, so the Joes have infiltrated the Cobra base because they're about to set off the brain bomb. What's his name? Dr. Monev, created this bomb that will basically destroy everything in a 5-mile radius. And then after that, whoever's caught after that will become mind controlled and follow Cobra. So they're about to set this thing off. The Joes show up and they're kicking ass, beating shit out of everybody. Duke gets into the main throne room, sees the doctor in that thing about to blow up, and Cobra Commander. So now we have Duke versus Cobra Commander, and they beat the shit out of each other. They're talking shit, and it's pretty cool. Hero versus villain. All the other Joes are preoccupied doing shit. Destro's trying to fucking, talk to Baron. The Baroness is on the Joe side. She's defected to the Joes because Duke helped her escape the rat, or not the rat, the pit. Like
too much Marvel, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The pit a couple like that, like a year ago or whatever. Or back in the Duke book. That was when it was just a Duke book. So yeah, there's that going on. But anyways, Cobra, and Cobra Commander said, hey, if you want to stop this bomb, you have to kill him. That's the only way this bomb was being, diffused, is he has to die. He has to get out of that chamber, because it's his thoughts or what. It's some weird contraption he's in. It's like, that's the only way you're going to stop the bomb. It's going to go off, kill a bunch of people and then brainwash the rest of them, so they're fighting. And then Cobra has like a cool laser hand, kind of like what's his name? What's that show? What was that? Was it Upgrade? Remember that movie Upgrade?
I didn't watch it. It's kind of like Venom, but like a better version of Venom.
Basically, he had a gun in his hand. So Cobra's got like a laser in his hand, and he's trying to shoot Duke, but then he deflects it and ends up killing the doctor. Like Duke blocks but then the laser goes off and ends up killing the doctor, defusing the bomb, and then fucking he's like, "No, you bastard!" And then fucking Cobra slices him up and cuts him down, and then escapes. And then the Joes rescue Duke. Cobra Commander goes back to his hideout, and him and Destro have words. Destro's like, man, you fucked up my bomb. You blah, 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 blah. You're doing shit I didn't think you were going to do. Like, I didn't agree to any of the shit you're doing, Cobra, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, just kneel down, asshole. They argue. So, you got that tension between Destro and Cobra Commander still going. Mm-hmm. And then, and then he's like, just remember my master plan. And then he opens up the thing, and they still got Megatron's body, like in chains. Like there's
okay.
Yeah. So again, this is the crossover with Transformers. Then we go back to G.I. Joe headquarters, and Hawk is bitching out Duke, like, you didn't obey orders and blah, 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 all this shit. He says, yes, but the Joes came, and the Joes showed up, and the Joes did what they were supposed to do. So we're not perfect, and we need some more training, because this is like G.I. Joe year one. We need more time in the field, but I think our intentions are good, and we work as a good team, and blah, 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 blah. And then Clutch, he's another G.I. Joe guy. He's like, okay, I need a break. I've been through a lot. I infiltrated Cobra. I'm dealing with a lot, paranoid, being, keeping my cover, thinking they were going to kill me like all the time. So I need a break. I'm going to go for a drive and just, clear my head. So he jumps in a Jeep and takes off driving, and he's driving down. And then all of a sudden, while he's driving, the Jeep,
cliff jumper.
It's Hound.
Hound, that's what it was. He was
he was the Jeep. So and that's where it says to be continued. And he's like, "What the hell?" so there's Clutch looking up at Hound, like, "What the hell?" Yeah. So it's finally starting to happen. Where it's been almost 2 years of them sort of teasing,
world building, and
now shit has started. Yeah, G.I. Joe and Transformers are now starting to interact with each other, which is what we've been waiting for. But it's been a cool buildup. So yeah, this is another 4 out of 5. This was almost my book of the week until I read The Predator versus Spider-Man. So
okay, nice. Where is that book at? Okay, so that's not it. It's here. Okay, so last book I'm going to do is Batman 159, I think.
I still haven't read this yet. I've been meaning to.
Yeah.
This is the Hush book?
Yeah.
With Jim Lee and shit?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
I think I'm at it right now. All right. So, yeah, that's what's going on right now. So, this is Hush part 2 of it. Like I said, it finished off where Hush fucked up Joker. And Joker is basically dying and bleeding out, and Batman's just left to see what the hell's going on, what he's going to do next with it. So then we find out what's going on next with it. And of course, you see Jason Todd on the cover. So obviously, it's not going to turn out the way Batman wants it to. So, yeah.
Yeah, right. that looks like Wonder Man. My first glance. I need my glasses.
He does, now I can't unsee it. Okay.
What's Wonder Man doing to Batman?
All right. So the book starts off in Park Row, but for those that understand Batman lore, they know what that is. That's Crime Alley. Mm-hmm. The alley where the Waynes got shot and Batman became Batman. And then you got Batman driving around to Crime Alley with Joker, who's unconscious, in his passenger side. And he goes there, and who does he meet? Leslie Tompkins, Dr. Leslie Tompkins. I mean, she runs a clinic in Park Row in Crime Alley, and she's just like, Bruce, what are you doing? Get your ass in here.
Oh, she's all hot all of a sudden.
Yeah, she used to be like an old Aunt May lady. Now she's like, because on Gotham she was played by Deadpool's girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I guess so. Yeah, whatever's going on there. The point is, he takes Joker in there because he can't take Joker to a regular hospital because no regular hospital is going to save him. But he feels like Leslie Tompkins owes him, and she'll do it for him. So she's like, I need to save him. She's like, I don't have the equipment to save him. Like, matter of fact, I might actually kill him just because I don't have the equipment to get here because he's a delicate state. He's like, just do what you can. And like I said, Joker fucked up. And she's like, oh shit. He's like, can you save him? She's like, I do what I can. And she's looking at him, and she's just like, okay, well, it looks like he's fucked up, but he's not too fucked up because Hush did it. So since Hush is a surgeon, he didn't like do a sloppy job with it, so she can kind of patch him up as long as. But thing is, Joker starts waking up, so Batman takes like a thing out of his bat belt and
out of his dick.
Yeah. Puts it in his mouth, but basically puts Joker back in like an induced coma, so Leslie Thomas can work on him.
Let me knock him back out real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's just like, Bruce, sit your ass over there while I just take care of this. So Batman just sit there, and since he goes to sleep, and while he's going to sleep, he's having nightmares of all the shit Joker did, because he's thinking like, why did I save the Joker again? Because he's debating with us. So like, I could have just like left the room, turned it away, like, or just dumped him in the middle of the street or something, like just not did anything. But I decided to do this. Then he wakes up, and she's like, Bruce, wake your ass up. He's stable-ish for right now, but he needs 24-hour care. So your next move, get him the fuck out of my clinic. Like, because I'm running a 24-hour clinic. I can't have people seeing like I got the Joker in here. So you need to take him somewhere. Take him to a hospital. He needs 24-hour care. She's like, if I can't take it to a hospital, they won't save him. Okay, take him to Arkham.
He'll kill anybody in the hospital.
Yeah, he'll kill anybody, or they'll kill him. One or the other. They're like, take him to Arkham. I can't take him to Arkham. They will kill him in Arkham. Hush is still after him. She's like, well, you know what you need to do then. She's like, shit. So he does what he needs to do. He takes him to the Batcave. And just keeps him there. See, he realized that he has the Joker in the Batcave, unconscious. He can like do shit to him. You're like, fuck, let me examine him. Find out where the Joker come from. So he starts like doing a whole thing on Joker, like looking at him, examining stuff like that, looking at his fingerprints like that. Joker has no fingerprints. He thought that maybe this is like makeups like that. No, it's his skin. He was like, and as far as his fingerprint, like, did whatever happened to him do it, like the Ace Chemical do it, or did he carve off his own fingerprints? Like, I don't know. So he has no identity. He looks at his toe prints, none there either. He was like, so who the hell is this guy? He and next thing he got a gun in the back of his head. They're like, oh shit. He like, how did you find me? He was like, I know you, old man. The same way that I know how you're gonna get out of here, same way I got in here. So it's true. You are working with the Joker. He like, I'm not working with the Joker. I'm trying to keep it alive. He like, that's the same thing. So he was like, well, look, he was telling him, look, if you shoot me in the back of the head, you already know my cowl is just going to ricochet and probably hit you in the back of the head. That's cool. He's not bulletproof. And that's when Batman's like, man, stop this shit. And then throws him, and then he knocks out the power grid. So now it's all black and shit like that. While, the gunman's still shooting at him. He just dives at him because, like I said, his suit is bulletproof. So he just like gets him. They knock each other back, knocks one gun out of his hand. And so it's the Red Hood, but is it the Red Hood? Because in Hush 1, it was Clayface running around as Red Hood. So he was like, I need to know for sure if it's the Red Hood. So he shoots him. He picks up a gun and shoots him in the headshot. You know how to So and Red Hood's like, nice, Bruce. You want to see if it's really me, don't you? He was like, because I know about last time. I know Clayface running around as me, like shit. So that's when they got a gun to each other's neck. Right. He was like, and basically he's like, Bruce, come on, man. We both know you're not gonna pull the trigger. And but Bruce, like, you're not gonna pull the trigger on me either. I know you're not going to. You're like, okay, that's true. But then he just started smacking the shit out of him. He was like, but still, I'm still pissed off you. Oh, and this fucked up shit he says right here, man. He like, did Hush send you? Don't you understand, Jason? You're just a blunt instrument, just like the crowbar Joker used to beat you. Like, that's some fucked up shit to say to somebody, man. So then Jason started just beating the shit out of him and just started pistol whipping him and shit. And then Batman started sending bats after him, and they tackle each other and go at each other and shit. And he's like,
oh wow, look at that.
Yeah, that's the same panel from that story.
Death in the Family. Yeah.
Death in the Family. Yeah, he was like trying to remind him of it. And he was just like, shit. He was like, but still, bam, and he smacks him in the face again because basically Bruce trying to talk him down and Jason ain't trying to hear it. So yeah. Meanwhile, we got Nightwing and Batgirl. So it's like, how did he get into the clock tower? He was just like, look, he's smarter than you think he is. And I know how that is because y'all underestimate him just like you underestimate me. But what we got going on right now, even though we're in a citywide lockdown, he might be the only person that can help us. He was like, and that is correct. I am the only person that can help you. And it turns out it is the Riddler.
Damn, look at the
Weasel.
fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all fucking swollen.
Absolute
Shit.
Riddler AF. Like what? When I saw that's what I thought of, like absolute
Riddler is
right. And this is how you know that Jeff Loeb didn't read this the current run, because Chip Zdarsky's run ended 2 issues ago, where Riddler was the main villain, and he looked like regular ass Riddler. Now he looks like Venom Bang Riddler.
He's been going to the gym.
Right. In 2 issues. Okay. So yeah, he was like, look, Dick, Babs, we gotta go save Bruce. Because Riddler already knows who everybody is, because he's Riddler. Whatever.
Like,
right,
is his cane a sword or some shit? Like,
we will find out. He ain't just walking around with that big ass cane just for no reason. So yeah. All right. So Bruce finally wakes up. Batman finally wakes up after Jason knocked his ass. Hey, like, oh shit, he must have got to Jason. But his Batmobile is gone. Well, one of his Batmobiles is gone. And Joker is also gone. She was like, what the fuck's going on? So obviously he didn't come here to kill the Joker. Hush is behind this. To be continued. So yeah. So yeah, now the book is starting to get going. Now the book is starting to justify its existence. Is it?
Yeah, I'm to pick this shit up. I just,
Yeah, the first issue didn't really stick, because I didn't know where we were going with it. But now I'm like, okay, there's a reason for this book to exist. Now,
Jim Lee drawn Batman in it again. Like,
oh, and it got some awesome panels, like him and Jason holding guns. It's like a Mexican standoff. Okay,
that's like John Woo shit. Yeah,
yeah. It's interesting. Now, the funny thing about it, like Jeff Loeb putting Jason Todd in this, because in the first Hush book, when Red Hood shows up, well, actually, when Jason Todd shows up, this was before the Under the Red Hood book came out. So this was technically his first appearance in 20 years after he got killed. But then they walked back saying, oh, it wasn't him, it was Clayface, or it was like a Ra's al Ghul assassin or some shit, Leave assassin, whatever like that. So they had to walk it back saying it wasn't him. But at the time, we were like, "Is it him? It's not him." Yeah. But now he's here. Now he's here in the flesh. So I don't know. We'll see where this book goes. So yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Awesome ass art. I'm trying to see where the book goes. Yeah. Oh, things just get, not just the Riddler thing about Jeff Loeb, like the whole Jason Todd thing. Him and Bruce patched this shit up. Now they fighting again. Whatever. Who cares? All right. I guess. And he stopped using guns. But he's back using guns again. Jeff Loeb did not read any of this shit. He like, look, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. I don't care what DC's doing. So yeah. All right. So what you got next?
I guess I'll do that G.I. Joe Silent Missions with Roadblock.
Silent Mission. Is that who The Rock played in
that
movie? Okay.
Yeah.
Why do I not remember him?
Why it wasn't Michael Jai White? I don't know.
I mean, they gotta have like a big dude, So yeah.
Yeah, but I think Michael Jai White could have pulled it off.
Bigger
Or Michael Clark. Or Michael Clark Duncan.
I think he died by then.
Was he dead by then? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Rest in peace to Kingpin. Yeah.
Or Luke Cage, that dude. Like he could.
He wasn't a thing yet,
Yeah. So this is the Roadblock. This is the Silent Mission issues. Last few weeks, we've been having these silent missions, silent issues, with no words, just all visuals, no words, no dialogue, no panel, or no text, nothing. Just all visual, shouting or tribute to G.I. Joe 21 back in the 80s when Snake Eyes snuck into Cobra and they introduced Storm Shadow. That was a silent issue. So this is sort of a throwback to that. So we've had...
You said issue number 38?
21? 20 or 21? Yeah, I think it was 21. And they did it. They said they did it because they were behind on schedule. They were behind schedule, and they said, okay, if we just don't print words in this book, we save the lettering process, and we can get back. We can catch up on our schedule, catch up on our work. So they did, and it turned out to be this monumental issue, and it's the first appearance of Storm Shadow, blah, 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 blah. So now they're paying tribute with these books. We've had the Beachhead book. We've had the Jinx book. We have the Spirit book. Now we have Roadblock. So in this issue, Lady J has been kidnapped by Cobra, and they're in some like winter. It's the winter time. They're going through some winter forest. It's snow and it's wintertime. Yeah. Then they're going through a trail, and a grenade gets thrown, and the whole caravan blows up. And then Duke jumps on a snowmobile and comes in blazing. Not Duke, Roadblock, and fucks up all the fucking not stormtroopers, Cobra troopers, and they're all in white. It's the snow, and he's basically there to rescue Lady J. Meanwhile, back at the Cobra headquarters, they're like, "Hey, our caravan is getting attacked. Go see what's up." So then a Cobra Viper jumps in, the plane to go see what's up. Cut back to Roadblock, fucking all these other motherfuckers up. He's picking people up, throwing them against trees. Basically Roadblock smash. And pulls off the door to the thing to the transport. And meanwhile, Lady J already fucking people up. They open the door and she's already killed like all the like once the diversion happened, she got busy and she's handcuffed and she's in handcuffs. So he opens the door and all the Cobra guards are dead. Lady J's fucked them all up. So they jump on the snowmobile and they start getting chased. And then the fucking jet or the Viper or whatever is chasing them. So you got a plane chasing the snowmobile. It reminded me of that one James Bond movie. Was it the one with Timothy Dalton, where they're on the snowmobiles?
Shit.
Living Daylights? Was it the Living Daylights?
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminded me of that. Like they're just
actually like every other James Bond movie has a ski scene.
Well, he was skiing, like in I think For Your Eyes Only or whatever. But in like
The Spy Who Loved Me.
Okay.
And Her Majesty's Secret Service.
But this is a snowmobile. So
okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah, there's a chase. The plane fucking sends a bomb, blows up the trail. They get flown, they almost get taken out by a missile. Lady J, Roadblock, the snowmobile, they go flying but it's the snow, so they land in a bunch of snow. The fucking plane is coming back around, circling back around. Roadblock finds, some weapons that have been strewn from, the Cobra caravan, and he pulls out a big giant 50 caliber heavy machine gun.
His big, yeah.
Yeah. And then and takes out the jet. And then, the jet goes crashing, fucking crashes. Roadblock goes over to the wreckage, searching for the wreckage. And the pilot's gone. Like, where the fuck is the pilot? Oh, the pilot parachuted. He what do you call it? Escaped or whatever. He comes down and lands on Roadblock with a parachute. So he had jumped out. He had bailed out before the plane crashed. So he lands on Roadblock on the parachute. And then you have the Cobra guard, Lady J, and Roadblock fucking up they just beat the shit out of him. Roadblock and Lady J beat the shit out of this fucking pilot. Like Roadblock picks him up and like body slams him and shit, fucks him up, and then they take off and they set up a campfire, and they're waiting, and then what's his name? Wild Bill, is that his name? The guy, the cowboy who had the Dragonfly helicopter. They show up. They come down in a helicopter. Rock and Roll's there. Tunnel Rot's there, and they find Roadblock, Lady J, and the pilot all tied up, and they're sitting around a campfire drinking hot cocoa because they had a survival kit, and that's where it ends. And they they raise their cups of cocoa to Rock and Roll and like, hey, what's up, y'all? And that's where it ends. So it's just another fun, dumb adventure action with Roadblock. Roadblock was one of my favorite characters. I loved his figure. He had I always judged G.I. Joe figures by their guns. Mm-hmm. And he always had cool, every version. Gun, he had the big giant machine guns, and they're the different versions of them. He always had cool guns, and he was just a big fucking muscle dude. I just liked, he was like the Hulk, So he was one of my favorite figures, So yeah, this was cool. It was a lot of fun. Another G.I. Joe silent mission in the books. So yeah, I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay. Oh, the best action ski scene in a James Bond movie, For Your Eyes Only.
Okay, yeah.
Watch that. Not the best movie, but that ski scene was the best. Basically, it was like an Olympic, a dude trying out for the Olympics was technically a secret assassin. So after he finished his Olympic training, he started sniping Bond and shit. And he started like, you got to watch shit. Just YouTube.
No,
shit.
I remember that Roger Moore was my,
it was not Roger Moore doing the skiing. It wasn't. Because that motherfucker was like doing flips and shit while he was doing. But anyway, before CGI. But yeah, that's all I got. Anything else you got, or
are you booked out?
I'm booked out. That's all I got. I was starting to read something else, but I was like, nah.
I got it. I'll do. I don't know. Mention is that Wonder Woman, Absolute Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Okay.
Continues to be dope. That was almost my book of the week, and then I read Predator, Spider-Man, and the G.I. Joe. But that just continues to be dope. There was like, Hades and the pomegranate seeds. It calls back to Greek mythology, which I thought was really cool. Wonder Woman outsmarts Hades. So I thought that was cool. So I'm pretty booked out. But yeah, Wonder Woman was cool again.
I think, I don't know if I saw this correctly or not. I think they have an absolute crossover coming up with like Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. I think. Are they all gonna
all in one book?
I think so.
Like an absolute with all of them?
Mm-hmm. I think so. I think it's so, but I don't know if it was true or not, or the internet always doing AI and some bullshit. So I don't.
Wouldn't that be just like Absolute Justice League or something?
Well, basically, yeah. But I want to see how these people react. I mean,
how they act with each other.
Yeah, different dynamics. So yeah.
Especially also, the way Superman's all aggro and shit, right?
Right, all emo and shit. Look, I better start a band or some shit. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, good news, Eli. I know I scared you last week was saying I had 172 episodes I had to submit to Spotify, but we get completely just shut down or discarded some shit. I was able to submit all 172 yesterday.
Okay.
I started beginning of the week, and it took me to yesterday to do this shit. So yeah, it's submitted, it's done. So yeah, crisis averted.
So if you want to listen to us on Spotify, we're there.
We're there for now. I don't, maybe some bullshit we have later on, but we are there. All episodes up there right now. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on, where else are we? Apple TV, Apple Podcasts. Those places also. Just Google shit. We're on Google. Google us. So shit. All right. That's all we got. Anything else?
I think that's all we got. Yeah. Shout out to the assholes in the chat who did nothing but bitch the whole time, but kept us on.
Really upset. Like, what'd you get upset over this shit for? It's like,
he bitching, but he kept the algorithm going. So props to that guy.
Yeah, props to that asshole
for giving us listens and shit.
Right. They're gonna talk about the acolyte. Let me stick around. Like, no,
yeah, stick around and bitch at us all you want with your fucking bigotry bullshit, bitch.
Right.
Help us out, motherfucker.
Oh shit! Like I said, join us next week. We'll come up with some more stuff. I'm pretty sure some stuff will happen, and we'll go from there.
I gotta watch Havoc.
What is that?
Havoc movie that on Netflix with Tom Hardy, Gareth Evans, the guy who directed the Raid movies. Okay. His new movie. It's got like Tom Hardy and like Forrest Whitaker. It's supposed to be ill.
Huh.
I'm gonna watch that. So I might have a review depending on how that is. I'm gonna have a review.
Depending on how your review is, but depending on whether or not I watch it. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Until then, hold on. We gotta. Check it out. Where you been at, baby? Where you been at? Okay. There it is. That's all we needed.
Havoc was fire. Okay, I gotta watch it then.
Yeah, we gotta watch it. That's all I needed. I needed a vote of confidence. Must watch, bro. Okay, so sound like we both watching Havoc. Okay.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, hell yeah. I'm excited for it now. I was already excited because that dude. It's been a while since that dude's made a movie. So
right. Bonfarrell coming through with the clutch. Okay. All right. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
Until then, this is fuck it. We'll catch y'all next week.